Scandinavian Bob here, hi. So I got an email from a 25-year-old gentleman who wrote the following. Here's a snippet from his email. Quote, I've been trying to quit corn and this whole NoFap thing for 3 months now. I consistently get to day 18, 19, 20, with 23 being my record. But the thing is, always when I relapse, I actually start feeling better. So from that, I draw the conclusion that for me, it's actually better to keep watching corn, unquote. Okay, so first of all, under every single video I post, there is a disclaimer in the description box where I explicitly say that you don't have to do NoFap if you don't want to. And I always say it is your life and your rules. I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. My job is simply to inform and share my experience. But since my job is to inform, I feel the need to inform you all, as I did with this gentleman, that what he was experiencing there was most likely a textbook case of withdrawals. Yes, because most people who have developed addiction-related brain changes from years of watching corn will actually experience a temporary slump when they quit corn that looks kind of like this, and this is a temporary withdrawal-induced slump. As you can see, it gets worse before it gets better. Now, the depth and length of this slump varies from person to person, but almost everyone who is addicted will experience some kind of slump, and on average, this slump lasts about 20 to 40 days. Notice I said average because there are definitely many exceptions to that. So notice now how the gentleman said that he frequently got to day 18, 19 and 20 and so on, and then relapsed, but then to his big surprise actually felt better after the relapse. Well, if you look at this graph here, then it's pretty easy to understand what could be happening to him. Day 18, 19 or 20 were likely to be down in this very slump. And so if you relapse hard, maybe 2 days in a row, you will definitely go back to where you started, which would mean up here. And that also means a temporary relief of those nasty withdrawal symptoms. And so, of course, the stopping of the withdrawals can make you feel better for the moment. But the thing is, even though this place here feels better than being down in the slump, it is still a suboptimal state. It pales in comparison to how good they can start to feel when they make it to the other side of that slump. Because if you look at the graph, it keeps going up way higher than where you're at during your corn using baseline. Let's take a look at another graph found on the website Your Brain on Corn, where another rebooter documented his journey and graded his mood from day to day. And so of course his mood is graded on the y-axis, and then you can see the days into the journey down on the x-axis. As you can see, he too had that typical slump. And for him, it didn't last that long. Remember, as I said, the depth and length varies from person to person. But just look at his mood rating. After the slump, it clearly goes up way above his corn baseline, which is a textbook case of PMO rebooting. He says that this graph here is a rolling 6-day average to make the graph look smoother. He also made a 3-day rolling average on the same reboot and the same period that looked like this. You can clearly see how he descends down into hell for a while before slowly starting to feel more and more awesome with time. And I can tell you all from experience, both from my own rebooting and from hundreds of other guys I talked to, that this graph can keep going up and up long after you hit the 30 and 40 day mark. Yes, you can keep getting better and better and better up to a certain point, of course. It's not like it keeps climbing indefinitely, but it is certainly very normal to keep feeling more and more benefits for a whole year and sometimes even longer in small increments, of course, and often in a 2 steps forward, 1 step back pattern. So the lesson of today's video is, when you're feeling bad, the solution is not to go back to corn, even though that could give you some temporary relief. But the real solution is to keep pushing forward so that you can finally get to the other side of this dreadful slump. That's the real solution. One thing that might potentially dictate how long and how deep your slump will be is just how much your brain has been affected by all the cheap dopamine you've been consuming. And if you're curious, I have something eye-opening for you. Yes, I have created a free dopamine quiz that will reveal your personal dopamine score and show you exactly how much all that cheap dopamine has been affecting your brain. And most people are shocked by the results. Thousands have already taken the quiz. Don't be the one left wondering. Click on the link below and find out where you stand. And oh hey, before you go, if you really want to understand just how deep this addiction rewires your brain, then you need to check out the video you see on the screen right here. Trust me, what you will discover in that video will change how you see everything. Click on it right now and you'll see exactly what I mean. This is Scandinavian Bob signing out for today. Consider subscribing for more, and I'll see you in the next one.